Hey, it's me, your favorite artist you're obviously subscribed to. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of beginners complain about how depressed they are that they're not improving, and how much they wanted to give up because they feel like they draw like shit. Does that sound like you? If it does, you came to the right video, because today we're going to be talking about a topic that can either make or break your art career. We're going to be talking about your mindset. You might not realize it, but your mindset is actually the most important thing to be aware of when trying to basically do anything. Imagine this. You're playing Valorant, or any competitive game, against people of lower rank. You feel amazing when you're destroying them, and maybe if you even move to higher ranks, you'll carry that energy and even destroy people who are better than you. If you start off your day getting stomped by people at the top rank, you're gonna feel worse, and possibly even start doing bad against people who rank lower than you.
I live.
Then you're gonna go to sleep and cry over how you got diffed in the ass. We need to fix your mindset so that you're constantly at your peak in terms of mentality, because you do good when you feel good. That's why for this video, I'm going to be brainwashing you and giving you advice that'll help you develop a better mindset so that you can always draw at your best. My first piece of advice is to stop comparing yourself to others. This is by far probably the thing that artists are most guilty of. I can guarantee that you've looked through the portfolio of one of your favorite artists and thought about how much worse of an artist you are than them. You probably believe that no matter what you do or how much you practice, there will always be people who draw better than you. But understand this, there will never be anyone who can draw exactly like you. The great thing about art is that there's a million different beautiful and unique ways to draw the same thing. There is no single correct way to draw anything. Take a moment and think about two artists that you look up to, and think about how differently they draw from each other. Now, decide which one you think draws objectively better. You can't, can you? This is because they both draw so uniquely that it's kind of stupid to compare them when they are both very obviously trying to achieve different styles. Now, compare a drawing from your favorite artist compared to a drawing they did 2 years ago. Which one is better now? Objectively, the most recent drawing, because both of them are trying to achieve the same art style, but one of them has had more time to refine their skills. Now, what does this all mean? When you are comparing yourself to another artist, you are basically competing for who can draw better in that artist's style. Because you are creating the notion in your mind that their style is the objective standard. They are what defines what good art is. And obviously, you're going to lose because no one can draw in that artist's style better than the actual artists themselves, because they are what defines that art style. So you're just gonna end up making yourself feel like shit. It's fine to be glancing at their artwork alongside yours if you're trying to reference them, but comparing each little detail and trying to copy it because in your mind they are the objective standard of good art is a death sentence for your mentality. You'll never draw like your favorite artists, and that's okay. You are a unique artist. You will always do stuff uniquely for better or for worse. Use that to your advantage. Make a new art style out of the mistakes you've made trying to replicate a reference. Play around with colors without looking at any references to see what you personally love doing. I don't know, just don't be comparing yourself to what other artists do, because as you'll get better, you'll create unique techniques and habits for yourself that will define you as an artist. Then, people will be jealous of you because maybe you made a new technique that everyone wants to replicate, and then you'll be what others consider objectively good. If you want to compare your art with someone's, compare it with your past self, because you will always objectively be better than the person you were a year ago. And then after seeing your improvement, you'll be happy and you'll want to start drawing even more. Because I'm on summer break and I have no college work to do, I've had a lot of motivation to improve my art, but so far I've kind of disliked everything I've drawn. And I blame it on my perfectionism. So for this summer, I'm learning to let go of that inner critic and win back my confidence. I've recently been taking a learning path created by today's sponsor, Skillshare, to defeat my art block and finally get over my imposter syndrome. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, with thousands of classes led by industry experts across animation, illustration, design, writing, and more. Skillshare can help take your career, skills, hobbies, passions, or side hustles to the next level. Like I said earlier, I'm currently exploring a learning path about beating art block and rebuilding my creative confidence. Learning paths are curated sequential class collections that allow you to master a specific skill. And that skill that I'm trying to master is trying to find new sources of inspiration and learning to be confident with my art again. One of the classes in the learning path is Learn to Overcome the Critical Voice by Lucy Lambrix. She has guided me through learning how to bring myself freedom away from perfectionism and having more trust in myself. She talks about what the purpose of an inner critic is and how to weaken its influence over your projects. This has seriously helped me become less critical of my art, making me much happier with my results. If you'd like to follow in my footsteps and learn more about bettering your mentality, be sure to check the description and click on the link to receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Only the first 500 people who click the link will receive this offer, so be sure to get started today. Another thing that people tend to forget is that improvement comes with patience. Just because you've studied human anatomy, fabric folds, eyelash placements, quantum mechanics, the average follicle in a man's ass cheek all in one day, that doesn't mean you're immediately going to become a better artist. You learn these things through slowly practicing and implementing them in your art, and getting a feel for them as time goes on. A very good example is when I started to do these detailed eyelash highlights. I understood the point was to add better form to my eyelashes, but I didn't know exactly how to implement it. My first attempt was lackluster, and my second, and my third. But as I kept practicing it, I obviously got better at it, and now I'm super satisfied with the way it looks, and even after I'm satisfied, I'll keep improving as I fix the little nitpick problems I still have with it. I didn't expect myself to be good at it on my first try, but I was still proud that I tried it all. Over time as I practiced, I recognized what I didn't like about my attempts, and I adjusted it in my next drawing. Over time, as you're developing your style, you'll start to recognize what you like and what you don't like in your art, and you'll adjust yourself accordingly. It takes a while to perfect exactly what you want. You will never ever be good at drawing something new the first day you practice it, and stop expecting yourself to. And another thing related to this is that everyone improves at different rates. There are some people who've taken 15 years to get where they're at, and others 7 years. There are some people who've barely started drawing at 50, and there are others who've drawn since birth. Focus on yourself, it's not a race. A 15-year-old prodigy isn't sucking the skill out of your body. One day, you'll reach their skill level, and you'll look back and remember how silly it was that you even cared in the first place. As long as you're dedicated and consistent in practice, you'll get there eventually. And with practice, there comes success and there comes failure. I know it sucks, but trust me when I say that you'll be happier once you stop being afraid to fail. It's a part of life. Even people you admire fail from time to time. LeBron misses a layup every so often. Your favorite artist you're obviously subscribed to fails at the most basic interactions. Elon Musk fails at being a good CEO. We all fail all the time. You think I draw everything perfectly the first time? I don't. I spend a while redrawing each part of my character I don't like because I can't draw stuff correctly the first time. I even have an entire folder dedicated to my failures because I'm embarrassed to even look at them. But I keep them as a reminder to understand how to not draw if I want to improve. If countries didn't have history books, we would just be repeating the same mistakes. Like World War III. As with every piece of advice, there are always some exceptions though. It's beneficial to fail, but there are times where you just can't pinpoint what's wrong and you just feel burnt out of trying. If you ever feel this way, don't be afraid to give up. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I think it's unhealthy to force yourself to finish a drawing. If you don't like it, why keep working on it? Instead of forcing yourself to finish the piece, ask yourself, why don't I like it? Is the posing bad? Does the face look bad to me? Break your main problem down into different separate problems. After asking these questions, redraw it. Try it again. If that doesn't work, then maybe the drawing just wasn't meant to be. Just like what I do, don't delete it. Use it as a reference to help yourself understand what not to do when you draw, or what looks weird to you. Put it in a folder called failed drawings so you never have to look at it and feel shame. But also keep it as a piece of history to help yourself understand what not to do in your art. Try practicing the small things you failed at and come back to it when you're ready. If you ever do succeed in fixing your problem, looking back at the failed piece and comparing it with your new one will only make the success taste even sweeter. And my last, most biggest piece of advice you seriously probably need to learn how to do is learn how to draw for fun. There are so many artists that I talk to who are always so stressed about improving, but when you're solely focused on getting better, you start to lose the joy of drawing. You become so paranoid whether your anatomy is 100% correct, whether the lighting makes sense, or maybe if your drawing will get attention on Twitter. Having these worries will make art more stressful than it should be, and it'll start becoming a slog to finish one drawing or to even get started in the first place. You need to let go of these concerns and just learn to live in the moment. Try and enjoy the feeling of drawing hair, or enjoy the feeling of playing around with colors. Do pink shinies or blue shinies look better for my eyes? Draw some silly sketches that are fucking stupid but will make you laugh. I'm gonna draw Freddy Fazbear as the girl from Dragon Maid because why fucking not? I'm bored. Having fun will give you the motivation to keep going because don't you like having fun?
I mean, you know, you're asking about me. I mean, yeah, I like fun.
Having fun is the key to consistency. And as long as you're consistent, you're bound to improve because improvement is something that will just come naturally over time. Improvement doesn't just come from studying or watching tutorials, it comes from consistency. And what's a better motivator for consistency than fun? Don't you like fun?
I already said yes.
These pieces of advice may seem like shit you've heard for your entire life, but there's a reason. It's the best advice you can take to heart. Sometimes the most simple advice can be the most life-changing. I hope after this video, you'll feel excited to start your next drawing. I believe that literally anyone can be a good artist with enough dedication and a good mindset. If you're new to art as well, but you're scared of drawing like shit, just start today. I didn't all of a sudden get good at art. I also started somewhere, and I was patient with my improvement, and now look where I'm at today. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like, sub, and comment, and check out my Patreon, and yeah, see ya.